Hi CMS, my name is Mrs. Fidler and I teach 5th grade math, and I'm going to talk a little bit today about my career path and my educational pathway as well. I grew up in Taft, California, so I'm a California native. I attended Taft Union High School, so go Wildcats. We were blue and gold, so green and black doesn't come natural, but I learned to love it here at Cloverdale. In high school, I was very active in our student council. I was the activities director for 4 years on our student council, so I planned all of our activities and was in on our dance committees and helped with sporting events, making signs for school spirit. I was also a swimmer since I was 8, all the way through high school. Swimming was my main sport, so I know what it's like to be busy because I used to swim in the morning and in the evening. So I would have to make sure that I had really good time management. I would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and be on the road to get to swim practice by 6:30, and we had to drive 40 minutes one way to get to practice. Swam for an hour, turned around and made sure I was back by 8:30 to begin school. And then again, when school was over, I would have to be at practice at 5 o'clock, and we would practice till 7, turn around, come back by 8, make sure all my homework was done either before I had practice or after. So it was really hard, but I'm glad I did it because it taught me discipline and time management, which is one of the most important skills you need to be successful in life. Also, when I was in high school, we had the opportunity to take a lot of honors courses. Grades are very important to my family, and so at a young age, my parents always wanted me to make sure that I was doing my best. And I think my personality, naturally, I'm very competitive, so not just in sports, but also academically as well. I wanted to make sure just my own personal goal was to outdo myself. So if I ever got a B on something, my goal was to then get an A. So that's kind of that type A personality that I have. So when I was in high school, I took a lot of AP courses, which allowed me to get college credit. So when I went to college, I had some courses under my belt. I also took, through our high school, we had a wonderful junior college that allowed us to take courses for free as long as we were residents of our hometown, Taft, California. So of course I took advantage of that every summer. When I was 14, so my freshman year in high school, I started working at my father's work as well as taking summer courses to kind of advance my education as fast as I could. So I was lucky enough to graduate high school when I turned 17 instead of graduating at 18 like most students do. That also allowed me to kind of have a break between college and high school. So I decided, instead of going straight to a 4-year, that I would go to a junior college, the same junior college in my hometown, because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do yet as far as a career goal. I knew that I wanted to help. I've always been someone who wants to be hands-on as far as helping people in general. So I knew either medical field or teaching. My mother is a preschool teacher, so I kind of grew up around that. But I always told her kind of laughingly, I will never teach, haha, because I'm teaching now. So when I took that year off, I decided I was going to go kind of in the medical career. So I started pre-physical therapy. So I took as many courses as I could that would transfer, and that is the key word there, transfer. You want to make sure whatever you take will transfer to a 4-year university. And I ended up transferring to Oklahoma State University, which is where both of my parents graduated from. And when I did get there, I already had 2 years of my pre-physical therapy degree done, which was nice and a lot cheaper. So I'm a strong advocate of going to a junior college like Ivy Tech before going to a 4-year if you can do it. When I was at OSU, I stayed there for 2 years and took some of the hardest classes I've ever taken. I worked the hardest I've ever worked in school, worked my tail off and had a straight A average. While doing that, I also worked, of all things, at a tanning salon, which doesn't sound like hard work, but it paid the bills and got food on the table for me as a college student, which wasn't great quality, but good enough. When I was at OSU, I met my husband through a mutual friend, a wrestler at OSU, and kind of a long story short, ended up at ISU, Indiana State University. And when I went to ISU, I kind of decided to switch my major to teaching. And that is how I ended up teaching here at Cloverdale Middle School. I'm so glad that I did decide to become a teacher. I love what I do. It is not easy, it's hard, but it's challenging in a good way. My number one piece of advice I could give you in life in general is just never give up, no matter what the circumstances are. You can succeed, you can persevere, as long as you choose to not give up. So good luck in whatever you do, and hopefully you've learned something about me today. Goodbye.